Wow, what a week at the Iowa Capitol. Fast and furious. But one of these gentlemen here told me recently that this session is already proving to be one of the best sessions he's seen in 27 years at the Iowa Capitol. More about that in just a moment. But first, this past week is called Funnel Week. And to help explain that, I've got Chuck Hurley, Danny Carroll here. One of you gentlemen, would you just let me know, what does Funnel Week mean and why did it make this week so incredibly busy?
Obviously, everybody at the Capitol is carrying around a funnel. No, Drew, it's a self-imposed rule that the Iowa House and Senate adopt themselves to help winnow out the number of bills that they have to debate. Every year there are several hundred, maybe even a couple of thousand bills filed. They can't deal with them all. And so they have a deadline. In this case, it was February the 16th. Any bill that's going to remain alive for this session has to be out of committee in the House of origin. So a House file has to be out of House committee and a Senate file has to be out of Senate committee. That deadline effectively was yesterday because the legislature is not in session on Fridays. And so this was first funnel. The second one, there are two. The second funnel will be March 16th. And just think that gets reversed. A House file has to be out of Senate committee, and a Senate file has to be out of House committee. And that's got to be by March 16th.
Very good. So to summarize, there's lots of bills that come out every year. But in order for those bills to move forward, the first batch has to get passed by, effectively, today, which means we now know which bills, frankly, we're just not going to hear about for the rest of this year.
That's right. There are two exceptions. Anything that spends money and anything that has to do with taxes. Appropriations and taxes are not subject to that deadline. They can be debated right up to the very last day, and often are.
Excellent point. But this is one of the exciting pieces about what happened this week, though, because one of those bills that did survive the funnel, that is going to be talked about, is a bill that could potentially save thousands, that would save, should be passed, thousands of lives in Iowa every year, the fetal heartbeat bill. Chuck, would you tell us a little bit about what happened with that bill this week?
We said in our very first taping of this Capitol Connection that life looms large this year. We saw that in spades this week. With only 3 days' notice, we had over 100 people come to a committee meeting, fill the committee room, and our pro-life senators got that bill out of committee and are committed to trying to get it passed on the full Senate floor. So this week was make or break on that bill, but it's only 2/7 of the way home. You have to have at least 7 stages passed to have a bill pass. We're now 2/7 of the way there. The next hill or mountain gets even taller and steeper, but we do have some momentum because of this week's Senate judiciary vote on heartbeat.
So a bill that would ban abortions in Iowa after a baby's heartbeat can be detected. That bill cleared a huge hurdle, a Senate committee. But as you said, only 2/7 of the way there, which means there are many more mountains yet to climb before this particular bill can be made into law. And so grateful, so thankful for those of you who came to that committee meeting to show your support.
Thank you.
But that's 2/7 of the way there. There's still so much that's needed. We need your prayers. Iowa's moms and babies need your prayers. But we're also going to be calling on you to continue to show your support and to continue to speak out to your legislators that this is something that is critically important. 2/7 of the way there, a lot of work yet to be done, and yet, Chuck, it was you who told us earlier that this may be the best session you've seen in 27 years. Why do you say that?
I have to confess, I'm very tired today. The last 2 weeks have been a flurry of activity. Danny and I have testified in numerous subcommittee meetings. We've been to committee meetings. We've been scrambling around which committee meeting will we not make because we have to be at another one contemporaneously. And so even though I'm tired, and as I was leaving the Capitol last night, I talked to a very tired young legislator who was very disappointed. One of his key bills didn't make it out of funnel. 3 or 4 of our favorite bills didn't make it out of funnel. But the bills that did make it out of funnel were more powerful and more critical to restoring the sanctity of life and of religious liberty than anything I've seen in 27 years. So we have to be grateful that we're making great progress, even though we're tired and somewhat disappointed on other bills.
As Chuck explained, fantastic news on a couple of big fronts. I want to thank you for watching and continue to follow along on thefamilyleader.com.